In this video, I'm going to walk you through how you can set up this spreadsheet before you can start using it. So first of all, we're going to key in some of the default values for our vendor list. So this one, we're going to enter some of the information that you want for your regular vendors. I'm going to come to this later and explain how this list is going to help us make data entry more easier. So first of all, let's just key in some data. For example, I can key in the number of the vendor, or you can use it as the vendor ID. Then we can key in the vendor name and the email, phone number, specs. I'm just going to copy this and paste it here. And for full address, just type in as usual. And then for the contact person, maybe the contact person is Michael. Just type in here and you can put any remarks at the right. So we can continue to add more vendors if we want. So for example, I'm going to add for a second one. All right. And then after we have done with our regular vendors, we can move on to contractors. So here's where we will type our contractor's name, and we have the email. We can just type it here, and for the phone number, and we can put any remarks we want. Let's just add one more. All right, now we are done with the contractors. So in the future, for vendors list or the contractors, if you have more of the contractors being added to the list, you can just add them here. And for the staff list, I'm going to maybe start key in, maybe we're going to have Ellen and so these are our staff names. You can add more if you have more. And after we have set up vendor list, contractors, and staff list, next we're going to move on to the email delivery. So this is what controls our automation. So in this template, once certain values get changed, for example, once the order status get changed to in stock, we are going to send an email to sales team saying that the item has already in stock and is ready to deliver. And if the status is high immediately for the delivery status, we're going to send an email to shipping team, and the order status, if it's delivered, then we're going to send the email to billing team. So because of this automation that we set up, we will need to have certain emails being added here. So for now, this is my email. So for your purpose, you may want to replace this for sales team. Maybe it's company.com. If this is the sales email, your sales team email, you may want to put it here. And if you want to BCC or CC to somebody else, you can put in their email address here. So you can only put in one email for the recipient, but if you want to add more person, you can utilize this BCC and CC. So next, I'm going to go back to our client tracker. So now we are ready to start using our template. For the client tracker, this is where you're going to record your clients information. For example, we have the first client ask us about something, then we're going to put in their ID, the inquiry date, their name, maybe Cindy, and we're going to put in the source. So for example, if it's a flyer, For the contact person, you can put in the same name. And for the email, just type in the email, phone, and full address. I'm just going to type in some random address. And then the type of work, you can choose either new, construction, or renovation. Then for the builder, we're going to choose either one as well. For the timeline, we can choose based on what the client told us. Maybe it's within 3 months. And the status is going to be inquiry received. And you can put in your name over here. So for example, I'm going to put in here, Alan. You can also take note of the next action item or the notes over here. So let's assume that after some time, the client requests for the quote. And now if you have sent the quote, you're going to move the status to quote sent. And then after some time, the client hasn't replied you or you want to follow up. So maybe you want to put its status as follow up. And maybe after some time, the client told you that it's being confirmed and you can proceed to the next step. So you are going to click confirmed. So this is where you'll get the prompt asking you to put in the project ID for this project. So this is the job ID. So you're going to put in the ID here and click OK. So after that, there will be a prompt asking you to enter the project information and the order items. So one job can have many orders. So you're going to put in here. So let's say this is the first item that we're going to do. So we're going to choose the status, the delivery status. You can key in the PO number. And then you can double click, open up the calendar drop down, and you can select a date for your sales date. Maybe it's today. And we are going to choose an order type. You can choose warehouse order or vendor direct order. After that, you're going to key in some items information like the SKU, the item name, for example, if it's a window hanger, and item description, for example, if it's a blue color, or you can put other description as you wish. And then the quantity, you can put in the unit price, maybe it's 300 Canadian dollar. And for the vendor type, you can choose either regular or one time. So if you choose regular, you're going to have a chance to select a drop down that will help you copy the contact information for that vendor based on the name that you have chosen. But if you choose one time, you'll have to key in the information manually. So for example, if you are using a regular vendor for this order, going to click on regular. And then here under the vendor name, you will see a data drop down appearing here. So click on this and you'll get to select all the vendors that we can see in this vendor list. So right now we have 2. That's why you are only seeing 2 in this drop down. So I'm going to choose happy vendor, and you'll see the information being copied here for your reference. So now we can move on to contractor name. Same thing, just click on this icon and then you'll get to select the contractor name. For example, I'm going to use Jeremy for this order. So their email and phone number will be copied. So that's how we put in the information for one order. So for example, if there's more than one item in one job, you will need to copy the entire thing until the site or shipping address. You can right click and select copy, or you can use the shortcut key Command C or Control C. So just click on this, and I'm going to come to the second cell, right click and select paste values only. So you can modify the status here and the delivery status based on this order. And then we can start keying in the information just like how we did for the first order. So maybe this time we're going to use a one-time vendor. So what you're going to do is to key in the vendor information. You can leave it blanks if we don't have. So just proceed to key in some more information for the vendor address. Same thing for the contractor, just select one name and the information will be populated. You can also put in some notes here if there's any remarks. So now that we have ordered this item, if let's say the vendor has contacted us saying that this item is now ready to pick up, we're going to choose this ready to pick up status, update this, and for the delivery status, you are going to choose maybe medium if we already have a pickup date. If the urgency is high and immediately, we are going to choose this one. So let's say if we choose this one, it's going to trigger our email and send an email to our shipping team, which is this part. So now I'm going to show you what will happen if we click this high immediately. So we're going to wait for a few seconds. So now I've received an email. Let's open this up. And it's saying that, dear shipping team, PO001 is now ready to pick up. The urgency is immediate. And down there we have some order information, so you can refer to which PO number it is and the vendor address along with the item SKU and also the item description. So in case you want to view more information like the contractor and so on, you can always click on this link and it will direct back to our spreadsheets and show you all the information for the particular project, which is our job. So these are the information we can have in here. So give me a second. Let me just remove this. And if I go back to the projects page, if let's say the second item is also ready to pick up, you can also choose the status and update accordingly. Say for now, if the first item is now collected and it's already in stock, we're going to change the status to in stock. And now we're going to receive another email saying that this item is in stock. And this email will be directed to the sales team so that they can follow up with the clients. So this is our email. As you can see, the format is very similar, just the difference is the sentence here and the person that we send to. So just cross this up. And then I'm going to show you the last trigger, which is the delivered status. So once I change this to delivered, a billing team will receive the email and telling them that it's okay to proceed for invoicing. All right, so now we have the last email here. So I hope that part is clear, and let's move on to the last part of today's video. So I'm going to go to store stock. So this page or this store stock is not related to any job or any project. It's just a standalone tracker for the store itself. So for this one, you are going to start with a purchase person. So you can choose the person name who purchased this stock and put in the PO number. And you can add the purchase date, the vendor type. If you choose regular, remember just now in the projects page, you get the drop down. So now if you choose regular, you will get the drop down too. It works the same. So you're going to help you to copy the contact information, and you're going to put in the vendor PO, which is different from this PO. So just put in vendor PO. And then for the pickup or vendor delivery, you're gonna choose whether it's gonna be your pickup or the vendor is going to deliver it. So for example, in this case, maybe the vendor is delivering this stock. And for the delivery status, it's going to be the same as the project. So you can just choose whichever status. But one thing here is that this delivery status will not have any trigger tied to it. So it won't have any email sending to us even though we select hi immediately. And then for this one is when the stock is received, we are going to put in a name who is receiving this stock, is going to update this field, and the person who entered this into stock will also update this field so that we know who has received and who has entered it into the stock. And if there's any document or PO documents, you are going to upload it to the drive or anywhere you like, but you are going to add the link here for future reference, or you can put in here if you want to utilize more than one columns. Next, I'll move on to talk about the do's and don'ts when you're using this template. So first of all, we can make this template clean by hiding a few tabs like the email delivery tab. Once you have updated this, you can right click and click hide to hide this page. If you want to unhide it, you can go to this part and click on this icon to show all the sheets. And here you can click email delivery and it will appear again under this bar. Same for the settings. If you want to, if there's no need to customize the drop down, you can always hide it. So this, I forgot to mention about this earlier on, but this settings page controls all our drop down in the leads page, store stock projects page, number 1 to number 3. So let's say I'm going to show you, if let's say you have more sources for your clients, you're going to add more here. So for example, you can add client referral as one of your source. And if you go to leads under source, you can see that now there's one more option being added to the drop down. So the reason of using this is this helps us better control the data quality that we have in our trackers. So if you want to remove that, you can just backspace or click delete on your keyboard to remove that value, and it will disappear from our drop down list. So for this one, there are a few drop down that is non-editable. For example, for this one, the client status is not editable because it's tied to some automation behind, as well as the order status, delivery status, the delivery type, and also the vendor type. So if you edit these filters, then the whole software might not work as we expected. Another thing that I would want to remind is that it's not allowed to change the tab names. For example, this leads, maybe you want to change it to clients. I wouldn't recommend you to do that because of some codes that we have behind the scene. So please don't do that, otherwise it will break the entire thing. And for the field name here in all our tables, it's okay to change the name if you want, but it's not okay to delete a column. So please don't delete a column. If you want to, you can hide it, right click and hide that column, but don't delete it because of the sum of the scripts that we written behind. And one thing is about this app script. So there are a bunch of script behind that help us achieve what I've just shown you. So I would advise not to touch this script unless you are familiar with it. And for the name ranges, I will also advise you not to change it because there are some codes behind regarding this. So please don't change it. So I think that's all for today. Thank you for watching this long demo. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email at my email address, hello@alliandanalyzer.com, and hope to see you soon. Bye bye.